Super Mario World, Nivapara Fortaleza Reznor by LX5, who now goes just by the moniker Alex, I'm pretty sure. Right, I need to translate things. Yoshi doesn't exist, title screen demo broken, indeed. What's up, Kappa? How you doing? Interest dropped on top of most of being old. More invested in randomizers. I suppose that makes sense. Alright, let's reset. Super Mario World, Nivapara Fortaleza Reznor by LX5, who now goes by Alex alone. Good afternoon from Fortaleza Reznor. Happy 10th anniversary. It's very important to translate these things, otherwise I won't know what they say, though I probably could have guessed based upon Feliz Decimo, Anniversario. That might have been obvious in retrospect. There's a tutorial. Alright, let's try the tutorial. Alright, well those blocks kill you, that's the obvious one. Alright. Guess we'll be smarter. Black blocks hurt you, shiny blocks kill you instantly. Yeah, that's pretty standard Kaizo. I mean, sometimes they do the other way, but whatever. LX5 Fortress. Oh boy. Welcome to the LX5 Fortress. You'll need to demonstrate your skills with various power-ups to overcome each room. Good luck. Oh, I gotta move. And probably should grab... Oh, double hit patch. Had a fun conversation with Kez last night. How much have I followed Private Software? None. Absolutely none. I don't know too much about that. I think they have a beef with the, like, games should work forever people, but other than that, I know nothing. Man, this is such a fun patch. Said the man who did not do it right. This was a Kaizo entry. Well, we're here for that too. If I remember to spin, we're here for that. It's amazing how little LX5's power-up patch has really been utilized in modern times. Like, there was a time where, like, every hack... Dag-nabbit! Seemed to use it. But... do we really want to open that can of worms? Alright, I'll read the rest in a moment, once there's a spot. Pirate Software did some drama stuff and also had a negative opinion of Stop Killing Games movement. Yeah, I have a mildly negative opinion of the Stop Killing Games people. Mostly because, like, it's complicated to actually do that kind of thing. Like, oh, oh boy. What do I want from me there? But basically, like, an awful lot of the time, game servers aren't necessarily filled with code they can just hand to people. Like, copyright and law makes this sort of thing very complicated, is really where I come down. That was probably the smart move. Let's not die to those guys, because we don't need to. Let's let that expire. Pick up this power-up. Go up, and shoot it across, and then hope whatever I need to over here makes sense. Alright, we have this. Balls. It's one of the best things that happen that movement. But yeah, no, it's just... licensing makes, like, giving people servers complicated. That's really it. Back in the day, it was a lot easier, but nowadays, not so much. So I'm not really, like, on the side of one or the other. Just, like, it's tricky to make a game work forever. And even then, like, there's a non-trivial number of games that don't work today through no fault of the developers themselves. Like, we've seen this. I've had great difficulty running all sorts of interesting Windows 95, 98 games. Because APIs have changed. Like, it's never going to always be trivial to run things from the past. Fuck. Past. Anyway. It's mainly about being able to gameplay the games your own. Stop forcing locked-in online gameplay. I mean, you bought the online game. You made a choice. Like, we're in an era where quite literally you don't have to pick up any online game if you don't want to. You can play, what, 40-odd years of video games that aren't those. The original adventure still works fine. You have choices. But those are the ones where I find, like, the working for everything to be most problematic is just, like, it's hard to make an online service work forever. Spin jump, my friend. Spin jump. But the thing is, if you exclude MMOs and the like, those are the most interesting games to work forever. Like, most games, excluding some DRM stuff, would just work fine as long as Windows doesn't mess up their stuff up from underneath them. Which does happen, I'll be honest. But, like... Oh. I screwed up. Don't agree with it with, like, the 90s style? Yeah, it'd be nice if things worked that way. But people like social things in their games or whatever, I don't know. It's one of those things that kind of bugs me when you think about it. Like, in this day and age, you are literally competing, attention-wise, with everything that has come before us. Which has never really been as much of a problem before, you know, the last few years. Modern books didn't have to compete against every book that ever existed. Sure, you go to the library, but, like, your used bookstores didn't have every book that existed beforehand. And now I'm going to archive.org if I really want how to do things. Give a single-player mode that at very least should work. I would hope so. Don't agree with the explicit goal? Yeah. I'm going to be honest, it's one of those things where I suspect what'll end up happening is it's kind of like Sarblaine's Oxley. What'll end up happening is it'll end up placing an onerous amount of effort on smaller developers, and the larger ones will just kind of be able to skate it without suffering too much. And that's also really irritating. It basically becomes something of a regulatory capture issue. Oh, you can't afford to do this? Yeah, I can't afford to do that. I can't afford the licensing fees on that. For them, for Microsoft, it's chump change. For Pete's sake. How do I do this? Games like The Crew that would work fine in single player? Sure. I don't know enough about The Crew to argue otherwise. Ugh. But basically, I just expect it to become another form of regulatory capture that'll be a small tax for large companies and a large tax for small companies. Because Sarbanes-Oxley sure as hell didn't hurt Microsoft when they had to go through it. Sure as hell didn't actually stop the problem of Enron, but it sure as hell made things really hard for startups for the last, like, 15 years. So, I think it bothers you with stuff like Driver San Francisco can't buy the game anymore because the licenses wore out or something. It's one of the best... I mean, that's an issue with that's kind of separate, right? Like, in theory, if they're going to play forever... Shout out to UFO 50, I suppose. They could just replace the tracks with nothingness. Oh, I don't like that part. Only way to get is to buy a Graysite key for insane price on a 360, PS3, yeah. But yeah, that's the RIA and their other things. Like, quite literally... Alright, so here's a fun one. There was a TV show called Muppet Babies that was done by Jim Henson. It featured the Muppets as babies. You can never buy Muppet Babies on DVD or anything. They've never done a release, in part because it used a lot of different footage from various Spielberg and George Lucas films. And the way the licensing worked for that was it allowed for them to license it just for the purposes of broadcast and VHS. But if they wanted to do a DVD release, they'd have to renegotiate all of those things. So it's just never going to happen. Quite literally, the only way you're going to watch Muppet Babies, if you want to, is reruns on cable or pirating. So, not that it's a huge loss, it's friggin' Muppet Babies, but... Got a duck jump there. Crew was a racing game with multiplayer features like being able to see and race in other open play. Issue was it was online play only, there's no single player to speak of. Downside was probably a combination of... Yes. perfectly functioning in single player. If it wasn't for that, yeah. But the problem is you need to be able to separate that code out. And they may not have done that depending upon how skilled their coders are. Like, that's a thing that happens. And so now you have to make an argument that, like, your coders should always do this kind of separation, where previously you might not have needed it. Like I said, I suspect this will end up just being a tax, dang it, for small developers. Love those racing games and stuff would stop pumping their games full of licensed nonsense and make original music. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I think the best version of Crazy Taxi is the one with the Offspring soundtrack, and other versions just aren't as good in some ways. They captured a moment with that. On the console you play offline? Okay, fair enough. But basically it feels like with this, it's going to make weird requirements of people that the developers may not, or the people who are requesting this may not fully understand. When you make a regulation, it frequently breaks things in ways you will not see until you actually enact it. There's another good example. What was it? It had to do with power. Basically, there existed a cartel who figured out a way to exploit the way the power grid dealt with their intermediate auction stuff by not selling power the right way or something. But of course, the power grid was never designed to deal with active, unfortunate adversaries. The one I'm like right there? Oh, that's probably what I wanted. Okay, cool. Just need to make it across, I guess. What? Oh, I need to get hit so I could run across. There we go. Should have PlayStation, but yeah. New games are you speeding down the highway, listen to 50 Cent or something, don't get it. Yeah, it's not quite the same thing, but I still say Crazy Taxi captured a moment. Game could still call home. Probably would. I mean, an awful lot of games have a ridiculous amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Telemetry in them. Because everybody feels that they need to include telemetry stuff nowadays, as irritating as it is. Alright, well, I guess we're going to do this a little bit faster than I usually do. But we were given 3, so it's definitely possible. Okay, so now he's immune. That's fine. Okay. Oh, well that works. I guess. I was supposed to do? Alright, what power up? No! First, don't care about any games online auction. Oh, Crazy Taxi absolutely did it right. Any games online options, they just don't add much, if anything, to your experience. You wouldn't care if less games end up implementing online features because of SCG. Yeah, that's fair. But, I mean, there exists a large number of games that will continue to work offline regardless. So, like, I don't know. It is tricky to me. That's where I'm at with this. I'm just not certain. I get the feeling to be wielded as a cudgel in a way I do not appreciate for developers who won't be able to afford to do the things that they want them to do. Well-intentioned, certainly. But, as they say, the road to hell. Go. Balls. Alright, well... Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't be able to do it anyway because I need to be able to enter the door. Like... I mean, for me, just talking about licensed music, like, Crazy Taxi and Grand Theft Auto kind of makes sense because they're trying to capture a moment in time. Other games don't really need that. Like, it's okay to have whatever music they have. And I like game music in general, but like, for specific things where you're dealing with real life, yeah, you may need to license some music because it just makes sense. I would actually argue Bioshock Infinite was made a lot better for this same exact reason, because they featured somewhat bizarre covers of existing music. Close, but no cigar. Right now, it's get the lawmakers to actually look at it. There's plenty of time to address the concerns on how or what. I mean, the problem is that oftentimes lawmakers, if they are told to look at something, will, instead of taking a measured look and making good decisions, will decide to do something immediately, even if that thing immediately is a really bad idea. So I much would prefer a well-thought-out proposal beforehand, because lawmakers and Congress critters are pretty damn stupid, I'm gonna be honest. As much as we love to meme on people, the internet is not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Demonstrated an actual better understanding of the internet than the average senator, unfortunately. And it hasn't gotten much better since then. Like, trying to do regulation on technological stuff is difficult, especially if the people involved don't actually understand it. Which I'm pretty sure anybody... Oh, no, I just need a little more height. Which I don't think they would. What's up, Matt? I think it more or less goes down to, like, there's a certain amount of, if you are willing to and trying to obey the law, you're probably missing out because you're a chump. It's the way of the future. If you're a small indie developer, you have no business setting up online only in the first place. Does it make sense to pay for it? There are some games that don't make sense to have offline play. Like, if you really want to make a loot shooter or something, like, where there's an actual component, this exists like a world where, like, things like Neopets could have never existed. Like, saying a small developer has no reason to do this thing makes it so that only large developers are allowed to do this thing. Like, again, it becomes sort of a form of tyranny, which sucks. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's been part of a whole thing. We're talking about complicated stuff while I'm failing in an Alex level. Oh, they adopt plenty of rules and laws. I'm just not certain the laws are the right ones. Or that the intention here is the right one. I just don't think it's going to end up being better than what exists now in any meaningful way. And will just make life worse. Again, back to Sarbanes-Oxley, which I cannot say correctly to save my life, which was designed to prevent an Enron, but has more or less prevented an awful lot of random economic activity. Like, I cannot in good conscience say that that was a good regulation. Simply saying that laws exist, and they do, for the virtue of following them isn't really gonna win you any awards. Let's try this instead, where I square up and actually do something smart here. There we go. Midway? I really hope there was a midway. Oh good, a midway! Alright, what am I trying to accomplish here? I have the cat. I'm not a cat. I liked being a cat for the whole 4 seconds I was a cat, though. What's the theme of this level? Literature's not going to be online. Wrong answer. Multiplayer do P2P via Steamworks. Steamworks becomes another library you have to be reliant upon and requires Steam to continue existing. And honestly, before they developed the... Let me answer Matt's question before I get too much into the weeds. Basically, this entire thing is about using LX5's Powerup patch, which was the new hotness circa, like, the year 2000. That's the theme of this contest. That's fine, too. Oh, good, an issue if you introduce PvP. I mean, if you ever have any certain amount of people... Alright, you can't jump on those. I need to jump off that, okay. I just see this being well-intentioned, but probably not well thought out. That's really where it comes down to it for me. I've seen way too many ideas and laws pitched that are just not great ideas in the grand scheme of things because people want something that may or may not actually work. And again, you're saying, like, if it's a small company, you shouldn't be doing an MMO. Like, seriously? Like, that's awful. Like, you're saying that even if you don't have too many resources, you should restrict yourself to certain domains of games. If you have good ideas, you should be trying them. But this starts out with the idea of restricting yourself to stuff where you could actually... How do I do this? Meet the requirements beforehand. Again, only allowing large companies to do this. I go back to Sarbanes-Oxley repeatedly because I've experienced this. Sarbanes-Oxley basically means you can afford to have an awful lot of accountants prove that you're doing the right thing, but if you're a small company, you can't... Oh, I need to jump after that. Okay, I get what to do here. You can't do these things. It becomes a piece of regulatory capture. And so, like, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced this is not going to end in bad ways. Regulation for regulation's sake is not usually the best thing. Especially in a field like games. Like, should a painting or something else be able to be enjoyed forever? Like, there certainly exist paintings and works of art that won't work forever. Case in point, there's a... What was it? Specific piece of art that you eat. Is it still the same? Is Cheap Theseus? I guess it's not a good example. But, like, if there was a law saying it should always be enjoyed forever, you can't make a piece of art that is a bunch of licorice pieces piled into a specific corner. Which, conceptually, as I will admit, is a little dumb, but, you know, more power to them. Because also, like, Super Nintendo, eventually these things are going to die. They're made of capacitors that have organic compounds in them. Like, eventually it's going to die. Am I required to package an emulator? If I make a new console that uses solid-state components, am I required to give people things such that they'll work forever? Like, seriously. That's a lot of long-term thinking when you're just trying to make something. Yeah, I cannot agree to that. Saying you should limit yourself to a domain sustainable or play the same too. Yeah. No, I cannot agree to that. Absolutely not. That basically is saying that only the people who are well-funded should be able to do certain things. And I am not going to sign on to such a thing. If you come up with a good idea, you should be able to at least try it. Dagnabbit, how do you make that jump? Knowledge is question. This conversation's above your knowledge and pay grade. That is fair. I really did not expect to be talking about this kind of thing tonight. I had some whiskey and I played some pinball. That was my evening. I didn't expect to have to talk about the legalities of making video games. Playing your 18-year-old hat shooter. So, thank goodness for Steam sometimes. Step on a higher level, you see this business trying to enforce business-to-business ownership where you pay for a product or lease it. With service maintenance in between business, trying to enforce the same rules onto us as private consumers. We don't want to lease, we want to own it. Having worked out of the box, we can do what we want with it. We want a product lasting. I mean, you can do what you want with the code once you've bought it. You just, you know, aren't necessarily happy with those results. Now, it seemed to be what everyone else wanted to talk about, so... But yeah, I don't think I buy that either. I mean, if I buy a blender and it stops working, I'm allowed to fuck with it. You're welcome to fuck with it. I'm not required to provide you the stuff that allows you to fuck with it. MVMs? Oh yeah, I saw that! They sent a request for new MVM maps. That's actually pretty fun. Honestly, I think I'm pretty much done with this. Well, sure, we aren't all programmers, but like, if my car fails, I can't replace the door. I'm not a door maintenance dude. I can't take the engine out of my car and fix it. Like, there exist domains where specialized knowledge is required. God, I don't want to talk about this shit. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. No, cat, no! Don't sit on that. Anyway. But yeah, no, I'm surprised. Like, TF2 still gets updates. I still have fancy hats. I've been meaning to actually, like, play TF2 on stream at some point, but since it no longer supports... I guess that would never be an issue, actually. It doesn't really support macOS nowadays, thanks to the 64-bit transition. Dagnabbit. You're not allowed to fuck... I mean, you're not allowed to fuck with it and still have the warranty work, but, like, it's yours. If you want to take your broken iPhone and fuck with it further, it'll just break more. If I have a blender that's broken, I have the ability to open up as long as I can find the right kind of screws. Like, you have those abilities. The fundamental issue is that things have gotten so much more complicated, it's very difficult to do anything with those things. You have every right to try and dump the microcode in Intel processors, but good fucking luck. DMCA, I think, allows for a certain amount of reverse engineering stuff anyway, so it's at least legal over here. There we go. I got the mushroom. Ah, dang it, mini mushroom. All guilty of trap? Absolutely. I will say I do like for at least phones, right, to repair, because it is kind of expensive. I looked briefly into replacing the charging socket on my phone before I remembered that lint existed. And then I cleaned out all the lint, and now my charging port works just fine. So I'm much happier now. Dang it. Deliberately sabotage self-repair by altering software. I mean, that's the thing, is they basically are trying to say we don't think that these third-party components are going to work. Which at least makes a certain class of sense, because certainly there are bad third-party components. Something capacitor plague. Like, these things happen, and wanting to say, or at least reduce your amount of people calling you up and saying, hey, this thing doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? And the answer is usually because you installed something we didn't support, is a kind of important deal for a lot of these companies. Doesn't end up helping. Microsoft had their share of that. An awful lot of blue screens of death were caused by OEMs going and overclocking components that by no account should have been overclocked. But it was still a thing that happened. Can I spin jump when I'm small? I don't think I can. Apple being cringe as usual. Yeah. Professional repair people know exactly what they're doing, not being allowed to do it. Giant understatement. I need to jump over the other... I need to jump through the other thwomp, I guess, is really the problem. Professional repair people frequently buy stuff from random bidders. Shenzhen is an area of China is full of clone components. Stating that they're professional repair people and they know what they're doing strikes me as not entirely correct, unfortunately. I should just go that way. Okay, that makes sense. You can make an argument if they were, again, trained and licensed by the company, but, like, there's an awful lot of components that exist that are just clones. Sometimes they're made on the same lines. Like, the issue of clones, especially in China, is a very complicated issue. Oftentimes, the managers will have keys to prevent this kind of thing, but nope, I can't do that. Anyway. What companies should say is we no longer support this. That often doesn't dissuade consumers. Like, again, it's an issue of dealing with ignorance and ignorance. Clones would be a big of an issue if they could actually be obtained. That's true. Saw a fun one way back. One of those acts of Gord. Gord wanted to buy N64 joystick assemblies. And Nintendo basically told him, no, this is the company you contact for this, instead of selling them to him. He calls the company, he's like, yeah, you need to send us these and we'll charge you $30 to fix them. And he's like, I just want the joystick assemblies. I can fix these myself. I've done this. Like, no, that's not how any of this works. He's like, okay. No, I don't know that, right? And anyway, long story short, he ended up buying them from Japan, from Nintendo anyway. Because he really didn't want to sell, he didn't want to go and send the entirety of these N64 joysticks and controllers all the way to this other company to actually try and fix this problem. But like I said, it's a complicated thing, and I just feel like most regulation is just going to make it somehow worse. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. I have a very low opinion of most regulation as it's written, especially after it has to get fixed up through like the 4 dozen people they'd go through. But that's just me. I need to stop touching that thwomp. Anyway, I think that I've done more or less as much talking about this as I want to. Didn't play very well at pinball either, so I don't have much to talk about there either. Yeah, I think I do need to go under. Like, I feel like the way that this is expressing itself is I need to get enough velocity to not fall that way. Favorite soup? French onion. Easy. I rarely get to eat it, but it is a delicious soup. Unless chili counts as soup, I guess, because I like chili too. But yeah, I went to the pinball place after the whiskey tasting for a little bit, and one, people were setting off fireworks in the parking lot, which was funny. Two, it turned out there was a pinball tournament going on, and two of the machines I was trying to play, people really wanted to be on because there was a tournament going on. Didn't expect a tournament on Thursday. Usually it's a Wednesday thing for that place. Tell you once dismantled your dad's T2 machine with a squirt gun for the shooter? Interesting. See, that's, I think, what the game wants me to do. And then we can do this. Okay. I'm going to ignore the Bowser, because the mini Bowser's irrelevant. Okay. I can hold a block despite being tiny. There we go. Oh boy, it's the frog suit. I love the frog suit. The frog suit is so bad. All of my favorite levels in Mice used frog suits. Same machine. So you disassembled it with a squirt gun? I think I may be misunderstanding. Also, if you... have to square up. Okay. I see the tiny thing I can bear... Wait, what? That actually hit me? Okay. I have no idea if frogs can carry projectile or carry blocks. No. It's a lengthy entry? Yes. Give you a sex? No. I'm still not going to give you a sex. Not in the right country. Amongst other problems. I definitely think Alex has gotten better over time, because I remember his QLDC entry, and that was overly long and kind of painful and precise, is what I remember. I think it might have been the first Alex level I ever played. Alright, let's see if I can do this without being froggy. At least there's no timer that's gonna affect me here. Okay, I need to be a bit further over. Alright, I got one more try. No. Alright, I definitely need to be froggy because going into the top part of one of these is basically impossible without being froggy. It's also really annoying even when you're froggy. Okay, frogs can in fact hold blocks, and then you behave like a normal Mario character. This track's actually really good, though. Square up. The one-tile gap thing is really awful. Gotta sleep? Alright, see you later, Matt. Sleep well. Sometimes you draw the really good straw, sometimes you don't. Anyway, what else? I mean, mostly today was just a bit of disappointment. Fistbit brought over his EverDrive, and it manifested the exact same error issues I was seeing on mine. I was really hoping it was my EverDrive, because I want to think this stuff works. But also, like, nobody other than me and D to the 4th has ever used it, and apparently D to the 4th's version works, allegedly. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, I'm Crix. Or Kriz, or whatever his name is. Okay. Not what I meant to do. I didn't press down! If I go all the way up against it, I never get hit. I mean, I've found a way to make it roughly consistent. But give me the frog suit and then make me have to do stuff the frog suit is not terribly well versed in. I just swim down too far. Sure ain't Maker. No, it is not. I mean, LX5's Power Pack was really popular for a short period of time in the 2000 or like 2020s, and it kind of fell off from there. Maybe 19-ish. I have to look at the date. The problem is it's horribly invasive. Like, it does a lot of changes to make this stuff work, but it's really cool. You let go. The gun/shooter thing. Okay, let me look real quick. Oh, you mean the auto plunger thing? Yeah, stop pressing. I know it's hard. It is a difficult thing. But muscle memory, exactly. Yeah, see, like, it's not hard. Just do it. Oh, can I swim above these? Is that a thing that works? Okay. What? I did not press right, I swear. Don't even have muscle memory for pressing down with non-item swim. Yeah, I have plenty of muscle memory for pressing down with non-item swim. I do it a lot, unfortunately. Recognize the song, but you don't know what. Something tells you Terranigma, you're probably wrong. I believe Terranigma. No, maybe not. Doesn't really remind me of Soul Blazer, but Terranigma was several games after Soul Blazer. Oh yeah, that's actually a question for people who know things. Worth asking, because I was thinking about game requests and the like. Those of you who've played Deltarune with a controller, how is it with a controller? Is it still enjoyable? Because I've only ever played Undertale-like games with a keyboard. And I was debating whether or not to try and do Undertale's next, or Deltarune's next couple things while out in the East Coast. Oh, whoops. Well, whatever. Let's just try anyway. But I need to use a controller for the constraints, and oh god. Well, not that's gonna happen. Not in this context? No, absolutely not. Don't play foreign games. You only play Germanic games now. Games made in Sweden. What games are made in Sweden? I mean, at least I know there's some Polish games, but I don't think Sweden's got a large games industry. And by Polish game industry, I mean, like, what? Like, there's some 4X games, and then there's The Witcher. Haven't technically played Deltarune yourself, but your brother played it with a keyboard, BF played it with a controller, both of them seem to handle it fine. That's the thing, is it's just like, I don't know if it's any good. I might, like, see what Olga thinks, because, like, Olga, when I talked about Deltarune, Undertale, highly suggested keyboard. But I think that's also because that's the way Olga speedran it. And I would say I did like it as better as a keyboard game. I liked it as a keyboard game. But it's been ported to console, so clearly, like, it's possible. Is what I was about to say. But it's something I'm considering. Like, I'm trying to decide what kind of games I might want to play that intervening week between GDQ and going to the beach. And, like, I have the constraint of being at my sister's place, and that kind of made Baba Is You, like, the ideal game, I'll be honest. Now that Baba's done, and I don't really want to start a level pack, except maybe Baba Is Jump. So, play Pokemon. That's also true. Probably should know the song. Fair. Play Pokemon. That's also an option. Pokemon's perfectly fine. I wouldn't be able to do, like, the longer streams I generally do, have been trying to do for request stuff. But Pokemon would, in fact, work. I'll be bringing my capture device regardless, so. I think last time this didn't spawn. Hey, fireworks again. Hope this is the end of the frog section, because I'm getting tired of frog things. He said as he got hit. Yeah, that's impossible. You can't actually swim in a one-tile gap small. Play Mechanarian. Tempting. How much whiskey do I have since I keep reading the same message? Not as much as you think. To be honest, even sober, I read the same messages twice sometimes. Just a matter of thinking that something may have changed, even though it has not changed, kind of thing. Let's see. It was about... I mean, the tasting started at 6 p.m. and it's midnight, so, like, it's been a bit. But I will say I do definitely read messages twice even sober. It's just a thing I end up doing. There we go. My pet Tipsy. It happens. I do not like the frog suit. It does not suit me well. Do like the track, though. We could toss it at the music identifier thing, if we really wanted to know. Highly doubt Alex ported a thing just for this contest. Could've, maybe. I think Alex is better at ASM than music porting, but I don't know. I want to say he's on the ASM team at SMW Central. I know he's a mod. I meant to go left! Girlfriend, have 2 beers, 2 hours? I mean, more or less, yeah. As long as I pace myself adequately, it usually works out fine. I mean, to be fair, the biggest issue is oftentimes drinks do not match the standard drink unit that has been set forth by the standards boards. At the time, it didn't port, so we probably use something on the site. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't know we knew how to port now. But it wouldn't surprise me. Like, seems like a useful skill. Hate frog suit. It's funny, in Mice, another hack that's completely based around this power-up pack, the worst level is without a doubt based around the frog suit. It's one of those morsel... Would I call it a deep cut? I don't think I would. But for an awful lot of Kaizo people, it's definitely a unique experience seeing morsel in a non-Kaizo context. You know a good port? Funny, I know a good starboard. Starboard. Starboard would be fine, too. Something about, like, that... Like, what to do with UFO 50, what, like, game I want to play next. I think it's probably going to be Mortal 2, unfortunately. No! Yep. Sometimes you just have to make a good old Navy joke. I'm not trusting it. That's the problem. I had strats that worked, and now I'm not trusting them. It is what it is. Don't tie yourself in knots trying to make more puns. I just need to go past it. Sampled everything. Don't mind if you want to dip back into things or whatever, except my asthma tower. Yes. Oh, wait. Don't mind. Okay. Whenever. That's the important word there. Yeah, no. That, like, right now what I'm kind of thinking is there's, like I said, I'm going to take the thing I said earlier, turn into a little spreadsheet. Well, I already have a spreadsheet, but I'll turn it into more of a spreadsheet. I'm also vaguely tempted to at least try to get all the gifts as a form of completion. But yeah, I do definitely want to do... I assume my asthma tower is the thing I've been doing. The mystery trail, I suppose, would be the easiest way to say it. Game 51, when I share with people... Yeah, gotcha. Never tie yourself in knot, that boat is sailed. Weren't you going to bed? Okay. Now we can do this at normal speed. Save here. Save here. Save here. Wait for it. Okay. God, there's so many just... No! Disco waffles. But yeah, Mystery Trail, maybe get all the gifts, and there's a few other ones where I'm like, at least I want to be mildly proficient at them. I've been enjoying Grimstone. I definitely think I want to finish that, and I think that last time I was just not certain about the cave, and I think I just need to, like, honestly buck up, no pun intended, and just go to the cave. I think that's the only option. There must be something in there valuable that I need to solve my problem. Like, a bridge, like, there's a dude who's been kidnapped who makes bridges or something. Because otherwise the game's, like, narrative makes no sense. Or at least the game's flow makes no sense. So. Atomic Waffle? Yes, Atomic Waffle, thank you. Alright, sleep well, Matt. See you later. Didn't mean to chase you off, but when the puns get bad, one has to... Dag-nabbit. Keep complaining about things. That's the end of that statement. But yeah, no, UFO 50's been a lot of fun. I'm actually surprised how much I've liked most of the games. Those are certainly ones where I'm like, I don't want to play this, I never want to play this, and I think I'd rather eat my own arm. Mooncat's presently in that category. Maybe if I got a better understanding of how it works. People keep saying Mooncat is secretly awesome, but I'm also not big into here, use the wacky controls, oh, hilarity ensues. So... Rock On Island, definitely high on the list to complete. Grimstone, I kind of like Divers. It tickles a little bit of that Echo the Dolphin feel for me. Bizarrely, even though it doesn't really have the same sort of stuff going on. And I do love me some Echo the Dolphin. Wait for it. Go straight to the ceiling. Wait till about here. There we go. I'm ready for something different. I guess we get the electric power up. What would that have... The electric power-up's a weird one. Yeah, that's what I wanted, clearly. Mooncat is very much your mileage may vary. Enjoyed 100%. You can definitely understand folks not enjoying it. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can do this with the ghost. Not quite. There we go. Alright, well that didn't help. Hey, look! More power-ups? Hey, look at that! This level can provide power-ups from time to time. Wasn't a thing that happened in the prior area, but you know. Well, that didn't help. And I legitimately thought I'd actually jump on that. But yeah, I could definitely see, like, over time, just picking up some of the small things and having fun with them, if that makes sense. Like, Moon Garden? Is that the right one? Like, I think playing that as an arcade game as opposed to, like, periodic as a time waster, as opposed to trying to treat it as something I want to grind out, would make a huge difference in how I'm kind of feeling and approaching it. Especially for the ones that are more arcadey. That's not where I want that. And that's still not where I want that. No, is this... That's good. I'm holding a disco shell. I don't like this. I have regrets. I suspect I need to be holding the disco shell. Yeah, Magic Guard. That's... oh. Whoops. Does it come back? It does! Hooray! I don't think I've ever seen someone use this cloud power-up thing. Like, this is not one of LX5's things I think I've ever seen. Which is interesting. If you're killing time rather than trying to win or get a high score, certainly would change experience. Yes. That's more or less the statement I'm making with that. Bye, Fish and Boo. That room was easy compared to the other ones. Also, I have expectation that we're now about to face a boss. Maybe. This makes me want to play... Actually, there's another morsel level deep cut in Mice. Furcon 19, I think? Is that the name of the level? Surprisingly good puzzle level. One of those you might not expect it. Squared up. At least we're using a normal power-up. I know mostly what to do here. Oh god, I could... Well, actually, that would have worked fine. I could have used that to make the jump. How do I want to play this? I think it wants me to still have a raccoon tail. Nope, no dice. Believe this is the end? Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. It's very climactic music. Also, I just realized that after all of this, it stopped giving me lives, because the lives only happened at the very beginning. So, like, I could actually run out of lives here by being bad. Square up. That's better. Yeah, things I don't miss from Mario 3, having to do the tail whip to not die. There we go. We just let the Sparky die, and then we'll see what's ahead. It did almost work! Alright. Oh, wait. There's more. Okay, we got the farty pants again. And he has a hitbox, which I wasn't expecting, because who expects that? I'm already toast anyway, may as well jump into it. What we've learned here is don't waste your time. Oh. I must go. My people need me. I definitely know this song from somewhere. Come back, Zinc. Alright, he takes more hits than that. That's fine. Ah, dang it. Maybe it wasn't fine. It wasn't double fine either. Definitely sounds like a JRPG, final boss, battle type theme. Why am I so bad at that? Romantic Saga 3. Ah, I was right. JRPG boss theme. Never played anything in Romancing Sagas. Don't know why, but every time I hear about Romancing Saga, I always think of Romance of Three Kingdoms. Which I don't think is the same thing. But it's a very famous, like, Chinese thing. Pseudo-historical fiction, I think. Well, hopefully that's the last hit. Are you kidding me? Alright, so 4 hits. Oh, that didn't help. There we go. At least I don't have to worry about one of those critters. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no way I would have guessed to do that beforehand. Congratulations, you're now a real gamer. Many thanks to LX5 for making such amazing power-ups. GG. Whee! Now with hitbox and attacks and health. I don't mind any of those. It was just the once he dies, he despawns all of the sprites and spawns a door was not what I was expecting. Really, my years of Kaizo experience have taught me to at least jump at something that wasn't a sprite, but that's on my bad, in all honesty. That was a hell of a level. It was really long. I hated the frog bit. Everything else was fun, though. But that frog level was something.